The question we all want to know is, am I saving enough for my retirement? How much do I need for retirement? How can I fund my ideal life? So let's get in and talk about it. All right, Mike, this is a big topic. This is a big question. You and I both have done this in our heads and we've kind of figured out, how do I know I'm investing enough? How much should I be putting into my investments in order to be able to retire when I want to retire and have the life that I want, right? That's what everybody wants. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do we know how much we should be putting into our retirement accounts, our 401ks, our 457s, our Roth IRAs? Like if you're in different countries, it's called something else, but what do we put into these accounts?
Yes, I will say I am a super nerd. I've played with a lot of calculators, and we are going to show you a calculator and share one that you can play with your numbers specifically. But first, you've got to know what your ideal life looks like. Because once you know what it looks like, you can figure out what it costs both per year and per month. And so you got to be clear on that. Because if you don't know those numbers, well, then you really don't know what we're striving for. How do you know
Yeah,
you're on track? Or
yeah.
how do we know where we're going? You got to be clear on those two things.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a $30,000 life or a $300,000 life? It's a big difference. I mean, obviously those are very extreme, but if you have a $50,000 life or an $80,000 life, that is a different calculation. So let's go through a couple more questions of figuring out, okay, what do I need to be doing? And then we'll give you an example, and then we'll break out this resource so that you can see the real numbers and what you need to save for your ideal life. So the first question, after you've defined what your ideal life looks like and how much it costs, is how much money do you expect to bring in as income? So that could be from your side hustles, that could be from your job, that could be from your pension, that could be from your Social Security. Anything, any money's coming into your household, that's your income. And then the second question to ask is, how much are you expecting to make or on your investments? So how much is the investment portfolio going to produce as a secondary income or your first income, depending on how you look at that? Those are your two sources of income there. How much do you expect to get it? Then you can figure out what that calculation is. So let's go through this example, Mike, so that people can really see, all right, if this, then this.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. And this is a retirement calculator that Jason and I both use for ourselves and that we share with clients. So this is Vertex 42, and you can go there and find the retirement calculator and input your numbers, right? These white sections, right? These are the areas that you will fill out. First example that Jason and I want to share is, let's just assume you're 30 years old, right? We retired in our 30s. Let's say you want to stop working completely at 50 and you have 35 years of payout. So you want to live until you're 85 years old. Jason also mentioned you want to know what the return is. We make the assumption of 10%. One, it's easy math, and we find it doable when it comes to the way that we invest, and that comes with mutual funds. Maybe it's real estate, maybe it's rental income. Whatever that is, these numbers are relevant to you. It could be 8, it could be 12, whatever you're comfortable with. 10% is the number that Jason and I are using in this example. Annual inflation, 3%. We just went with an average. Your current salary, $100,000 in this example, and you have a 2% increase every year. Right now, we have you saving 0% of your income. Now, on your retirement needs, we want you to have a total of 100,000. So this comes from 60,000 here from salary. And then on this one, other retirement income, initial amount is 40. So 40 plus 60 in this example, we have matched your current lifestyle, right? $100,000 and $100,000 here. Remember, this is in today's dollars. So we got 100,000 in these two examples.
Yeah, and Mike, let me interject on how we came up with that, just to be more clear, is let's say you want the $100,000 income in retirement that you do today. How to match that. You're not, if you can, and we have other videos on this, but if you can, you want to have income from side hustles, from pensions, from Social Security, from all these other things, and then you want to make up the difference with your retirement account. That's why we have this broken up as to 60-40, is that we, in this example, are saying that you have $40,000 in your side hustle, in your business and other things, and then you need $60,000 as income from your investments. So just to be clear on that.
Correct. And this, not to get confused with this 100,000, this is just your current retirement savings balance. So this could be zero, it could be 50, 100, it could be even $200,000 right now at your age. You've got to figure that what that is and put it in this section. Now, all the other numbers that are not in white boxes are calculations done inside the spreadsheet, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, this is $60,000 for your retirement needs. And what Jason is mentioning, another 40 is coming from the Social Security in this example. And that begins at 60 and with an annual increase of 3%. Now, these numbers are going to be unique for you. We just want to show you what it will do if you were in this situation. You're going to be $665,000 short of your goal of living on $100,000 with these current numbers. Right? Again, 30 years old, and you want to stop work at 50, and you want to live until 85. You're hundreds of thousands of dollars short.
And that means for most people, sorry, you can't retire at age 50. You have to work longer, which is what we all want to stop doing. So, that this usually is the shoulders go down, the head goes forward, and we're like, oh, great, now I guess I got to work until I'm 80, right? That's what we're going to be showing you, is you don't have to have that reaction. You can say, wait, how do I retire at age 50? What do I need to do? Right? That's what this video is about, is the contributions. So go ahead, Mike. Show them how that person who's like, oh, I can't do it, to, oh, this is a way I can do it.
Correct. And if you haven't heard us say this yet, Jason and I, we like to keep our expenses low. So if this is the case, maybe this number gets reduced. And if you choose to do that, that's okay. You could choose to work longer, like Jason is saying, but the benefit of this calculator, and also there's a graph here to show you how much your current savings is, the red, and then what your goal should be to last until you're 85. But we wanted to do a percentage of your current salary of 100,000 at 6%. So 6% is $6,000 a year. That's $500 a month. Jason and I live and preach a debt-free lifestyle. Now, if you just get rid of that car payment, you could fund your retirement by another $500 a month. Now, look at what that does. That increases your shortfall, decreases your shortfall by almost $400,000, just $500 a month. So you get closer. You're gonna live longer, right? You're gonna make it to 67 instead of 60, the number before.
Yeah, you
right?
still don't have enough at this point. Yeah, you still don't have enough, but it's a lot better. It's like starting to look better. So what do we need to do to actually do what we want to do?
So now, instead of the 6%, the $500 a month, we're going to change this to 12%. And that's $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month. When you make that change, you're no longer in a shortfall. You actually have $122,000 left over at the end of life in this example of 84, 85 years old. Now, I know we don't live in a vacuum and it's not going to be perfect, but this is what we are encouraging you to do. Get out of debt and save 10 to 20% of your income towards retirement to be able to live your lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like you've heard us talk about saving 10 to 20%, and sometimes at the beginning it can feel daunting. It can feel like there's no way, I can't do it. But Mike just referenced it earlier a few minutes ago. If you get rid of your debt, right, focus highly on getting rid of your debt. That's a significant portion, probably, of this, in this example, this $1,000 a month. So let's say you've got $500 or $600 in debt payments. That's 50 to 60% of this calculation right there. And then if you get organized with your money, be more intentional, and start figuring out how to reduce your expenses and increase your income, by all means, there you go. There's the other 40% of your investments, so that you can get to the place where this is a reality and you can actually retire early, and you have enough money not only to fund your ideal life, but extra left over for those gotchas or the just in cases or the end of life expenses. So it is possible.
Yeah. So be sure to jump on and download your version of Vertex 42 and the retirement calculator and put in your number specifically and have a play. See what happens if you want to retire even 5 years earlier, right? When you put in 45, how much do you need to save to make sure that you aren't short, right? And maybe even have a play here. Maybe you don't want to live on the full 100. Maybe you go and reduce that number, right? And you can see what is possible for you and your household.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to the video and to our channel, and tell us in the comments, what are you on track for? Are you on track? Are you way behind? Are you way ahead? Like, tell us and share with us. We'd love to celebrate that with you for sure. And we'll see you in the next video.